In ages gone by, somewhere within the mountains of the north of Middle-earth, dwelt the great fire drakes. These mighty creatures would strike fear into the hearts of any who'd hear their roar, and few were those that would ever get a chance to witness one of these incredible creatures and live to tell the tale. However, out of all these great fire drakes of the north, there was one that was feared and more famous than any other in history. Smaug. It was the destruction of the cities of Dale and Erebor that Smaug truly became the feared worm of legend. For under the rule of Thror, the vast treasure hoards of Erebor had continued to grow, its wealth unmatched among the dwarven kingdoms of Middle-earth. It was with this great wealth that drew Smaug to Erebor, for dragons convert gold more than anything else. The city of Dale was the first to feel Smaug's wrath, the dragon setting the city alight and razing its buildings to the ground. The citizens of Dale could only flee the city or die in the attempt. The city's guard did what they could to force Smaug back, but the dragon's wrath was too fierce, and those who stayed to fight him soon felt the full force of his powers. Even Geryon, the Lord Dale, was unable to slay the beast, firing black arrow after black arrow at him. Geryon was unable to pierce Smaug's hide, and ultimately perished along with his city. It follows Dale's destruction that Smaug turned his attention to Erebor. Smashing through the mountain's stone wall, Smaug laid claim to the lonely mountain and the treasures that lay within. Though Thror and many of his kin managed to flee the city and escape the dragon's fury, Erebor was ultimately lost. Smaug, the greatest calamity, had become king under the mountain. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Wraith, and today we are going to be doing the one, the only, Smaug, Desolator of the North, or Smaug the Terrible. Very cool. Awesome model. The model alone is just fantastic and a big reason why you want to collect this quote-unquote army. Yeah. So, quickly, the army composition includes Smaug. Check, we've got Smaug. Army bonus. Oh, this is going to be good. The Desolator of the North army list does not get a special rule. Having a massive fire-breathing dragon is a deadly enough bonus as it is. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Although it would have been cool to have, like, Desolator of the North. He's got, like, Ancient Evil, but everyone loses 2 courage. That'd be busted, but it'd be freaking cool because he's a massive dragon. -1 courage isn't really enough. You know. That's my thoughts anyway. So, let's jump in. Smaug, he is obviously a hero of legend. He's rocking in at 700 points. Let's see what we get for this. He's a dragon, a monster, infantry hero. He comes in at movement 6. Okay. Fight 8. It's respectable. It's respectable. I think it should be like fight 9 or 10 because it's a freaking dragon, but whatever. It should definitely be fight 10. Say in the comments below if you disagree. Anyway, that's not the point. Let's talk about the stats without me talking about my opinion. So, he's fight 8, 2+ shoot value. He's strength 9, defense 9, 4 attacks, 20 wounds, courage 6. He's got 3 might, 6 will, no fate, which is fine because he's got 20 wounds. Okay? Wow, it would be fine. Okay? He comes with razor sharp teeth and massive talons. He's got heroic channeling, heroic strike, heroic strength, and heroic challenge. So yeah, he can still strike up. He's okay. If you hear little meowings and things like that, I apologise. There's nothing I can do about it. My lovely cat decided to have kittens. So there we go. Got that out of the way. Okay, I've been infested. So he's got Ancient Evil, which is the big bubble of -1 courage, 18 inches. He is fearless, good, because he's a freaking dragon. He can fly. That makes sense. He's got big wings, which means he moves 12 inches, okay? He's resistant to magic, which is good, and he causes terror, of course, because he's a dragon. He can breathe fire as an active ability. Smaug must expend a point of will to breathe fire. Treat Smaug's fiery breath as a bow with a range of 18 inches. If the shot hits the target and all models, friend or enemy within 2 inches, suffers from Set Ablaze rule. Although the immediate hit these models suffer is a strength 10 instead of a strength 9. Wow. Cavalry models suffer hits on both Mount and Rider. Fate rolls may be taken as normal to prevent wounds, but if anyone suffers a single wound from Smaug's fiery breath, they are automatically slain. Oh mama, that is tasty. I like that. I like that a lot. It'd be really good for killing Balrogs. Oh no. Balrog's made of fire. Doesn't work on a Balrog. Anyway, it's good for killing mimics. So, yeah. Just takes 2 turns, though. Desolator in the North is his next passive ability. Smaug may expend a single point of will each turn without depleting his own store. Furthermore, Smaug re-rolls to wound rolls of 1 making strikes against dwarf models. Yeah, that makes sense. So, he's got a staff of power, basically. I don't know. Let's say it's his tooth. His tooth. And it gives him, I don't know, extra stuff. He is also, passively, an immovable object. Smaug cannot be knocked to the ground or otherwise moved against his will, and never backs away if he loses a fight. His opponents must back away, even if they win. As a result of this, Smaug can never be trapped. That is a fantastic rule to have on your big giant monster, because it's super easy to trap big giant monsters with, like, 3 models, or 2 models in a piece of terrain, or even 1 in the right spot. So, yeah. He has got something... it's not that bad, but it's kind of like a debuff. He has his missing scale, which of course you know he has. If you've ever watched the film, you literally can see it. If a model rolls a natural 6 to hit Smaug with a shooting attack and then makes a successful wound roll, Smaug suffers the number of wounds equal to the strength value of the missile weapon used by the shooting model. So for example, if an elf shoots at him and rolls a 6 to hit and then rolls enough to wound him, he wouldn't just take 1 wound, he'd take strength 3, so 3 wounds. Okay, but that works as well for like strength 10 artillery pieces. There you go. But it has to be a natural 6, so you can't might it up, which is good. But you could get really unlucky and have like an Uruk-hai ballista just like nat 6 you and then wound you, and then that's half your wounds gone. Never mind. Unstoppable momentum, okay? If Smaug charges into combat and wins the ensuing fight, all of his opponents are knocked to the ground regardless of their size, except for the War Mammoth of Harad and the Iron Hills Chariot. Why is the Iron Hills Chariot just like immune to being knocked down by a dragon? I guess it would just like destroy the chariot, I guess, but like just headcanon wise, like it's a dragon, that's a chariot. Like if someone knows the answer to that, let me know, or is it just a balancing thing? I don't know. Because other chariots can get knocked over. So yeah. Furthermore, should Smaug choose to make a barge brutal power attack, any models forced to back away also suffer a strength 9 hit. Oof. So yeah, strength 9 on everything that backs away because of the barge. That's very cool. That's how you rake through infantry. I like that. He has some magic as well, because he's got a worm tongue, I guess. So he's got Transfix, which is a range 12 inches, cast at the 3+. Transfix basically means they can't do anything. Okay, if you channel it, they also half their attacks, half their fight value. Cool. Compel, 12 inches, cast on a 4+. Make them move half their movement in a straight line. If you channel it, you also half their attacks, half their fight value, and then once you've moved them either way, they're basically transfixed as well. Instill Fear, which is fantastic, range of 3 inches, goes off at a 5+. Every model in range has to take a courage check. If they fail, they run away straight, in the straightest path possible, well, in a straight line away from the caster. If they fail, they're full movement. If you channel it, they have to take the courage tests on 3d6 rather than 2d6. If they fail, they run away, okay? If they bump into anything, they just stop. So because you cast it, you get to pick which ones take courage checks first. So if you've got like a line of sword and board in front of you, and then behind them a load of spears, make the spears take their courage checks first, so they run away to make room for the guys up front to run away. And then Sap Will, 12 inches, casting a 5+. Sap Will pretty much does what it says. It saps people's wills. You point at a caster, goes, oh, to sap your will. If you get it off, they lose D... Oh, I have to double check. There you go. Trust yourself more. I was right. It was, well, what I was going to say. You lose D3 wills. D3 will. If you cast, so you cast it, pick a person or hero or anything with will, and if they fail to resist it, they lose D3 will points. If you channel it, they lose D6. Very good. I love that spell. Very annoying. Yeah, it's very good. Because as soon as you do it on something like King Elisar, and he's only got 3 will, and he loses all 3 will, that's it. He's just putty in your hands if you're a spellcaster. Especially get a point of will a turn. Literally, as Smaug, you can just transfix him pretty much every turn if you want. As long as you don't get tied up in combat. But yeah, there we go. That's his stats. That's what he does. I don't think I'm missing anything. No, I'm not. Good. So, how do we play the Smaug? I mean, first thing you have to realise is you're going to be most likely a single model army. You're also 700 points, so you're going to be playing on the upper scale of points. So, yeah, I think... I mean, I've been to many 700 point tournaments, but it usually jumps up to 800 for me around my area. Goes from 650 to 800, which is also fine. But that's good for you as well, okay? So... I've done a video on how to fight with monsters. Your best friends are your brutal power attacks. You're going to want to snipe out enemy heroes ASAP or high fight value targets. You've got a very good way of doing this with the Fire Breath. Okay? So the Fire Breath's got 18-inch range, which is fantastic. But also consider you've got Transfix, which is a 3 point. You get 3 point every turn. Transfix is a very good way of just trying to keep heroes away if you just don't want to bomb them, okay? But, of course, if they got one big scary hero, like Bjorn, for example, in his bear form, if you do get lucky and fire off a fireball and wound him and he doesn't fade it, guess what? There's no more Bjorn. It's amazing. Okay, there you go. There's a heroic strike gone. You are also susceptible to magic yourself. You've got resistance to magic, but, you know, spells can hurt, especially if you're using too much of your will. You've got 6, which is a solid amount of will, like any caster, but after you cast a few spells, resist a couple of times, when you get to 0 will, you're going to be kind of edgy, because they could do the same thing to you. You've always got a resist roll, the resistance to magic, but if Smaug gets transfixed, that's your army that has just been transfixed in one spell, which could have cost them 1 will. Do you understand what I'm saying? Of course you do. So top priority is hard. I'd probably, depends on the army you're facing. If they've got really potent spellcaster, as in 1, I would try and keep them at distance. 9 times out of 10 they'll try and stay away from his fiery breath, so you should be okay. But yeah, try and get rid of the spellcasters and the high fight heroes, or like the big daddies, i.e. Aragorn. I mean, even Galadriel's scary because she does both magic and she can strike and she's fight 6, so she's not going to kill you, but she gets enough people on you, you could be scared. Alright, they're your 2 that you want to target. Fire Breath is really good, but any of the spells that you fancy, okay? Unless they have a big piece of artillery, okay? If they have a big piece of artillery, that is going to be a big target that you'll want to go for quite quickly. You want to run towards it and get rid of it, okay? Throw some fire on it and just get it gone, because you just breathe on it once and you probably destroy it, okay? You'll be fine. Okay, once you've dealt with those threats, you should be okay to deal with the rest. Don't just throw yourself in the middle to get like completely chewed up and beaten up constantly by loads of little chaff or getting tied up. If you can, ideally, you want to get to try like high spots and things like even over here, if you can get up onto here, if that makes sense. Depending on how big, that's probably a bit like janky. I mean, that might be alright. He sits, he's fine. Hello, my name is Smoke. Anyway, up here, just make it harder for him to actually get attacked, if possible at all. Yeah, little things like that, and that way you can keep casting Fireball down on the enemy, blowing everyone up, 2-inch auras of death. That's how you want to be getting rid of chaff. If you do end up getting surrounded, of course you've got the magical barge ability, which knocks everyone prone when you win a fight, and then anyone who has to move back takes strength 9 hit. It's very good. Strength 9 is disgusting. Okay, you win in most things on 3s, apart from like Iron Hills. So yeah, that's terrifying. Even Iron Hills, actually, if they stay in shield formation, it's 4s. If they don't, it's 3s. Ew. Scary. Okay? That is kind of my advice. You're going to struggle with objective games if there's multiple objectives and who can hold them. Let's be honest, you're one model. Okay? Flying around, you can only really hold 1. Right? But that is why you need to be able to kill the enemy effectively. You have basically got, I don't know, some kind of like bazooka in your mouth, which is good for clearing chaff. So if they're hanging around or congestion around an objective, just fire out. And just so you know, I'll just see if I can pop down some minis. If I save, is there going to be another Smaug? No, it's going to be a Grimhammer. Look at that. Like I planned this. Let's just put a little group here. Okay. Alright. Can I do a circle? I used to be able to do this. No? Oh, 1 second. So just to give you an idea, 2 inches. If you hit this guy here, we'll get him. It'll get everyone here. Let's spread them out a bit more. Let's see if we can chuck a few more people out, just to maximise, to show how many models you might potentially be able to get. You got a big group there. Not that, I mean, unless they're quite new and they don't know what Smaug does, you probably won't find that they're doing this. But they might. We're going to pick this guy to breathe fire on, and look at that. We've hit. Hit. Yeah, there you go. All of these are almost just, they're just going to die. Okay? It's almost definite they're going to die. So, yeah, his fire breath is insane. Insane. You can imagine in a shield wall, it'll still be quite scary. Oh, too many. There we go. That's a little shield wall. We're going to pick, I don't know, this guy. Most central, I guess. Oh, this guy here. And look at that. We've got 1, 2, oh, not quite. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. All apart from the outside. That is terrifying. Yeah, so... Oh, how clever can I be? Oh, look at that. Look at that. So that's kind of like your blast radius. That's scary. Super scary. So yeah, imagine they got a shield wall and then all of a sudden that's just not there anymore. There you go. But just to warn you, once you've done that once, they're not going to do that again. They're going to start deploying like that. Oh my god. Stay away from the fire. Won't somebody think of the children? Anyway, there you go. So, you can deal with Horde Spy with your Fire Breath, with your Barge. 2 really effective ways of doing it. Downside to one of them is you can't really be in combat to Fire Breath people. Never mind. But the Barge is good. The other option, if you're playing, say, 800 points, and I don't really do this in my videos too often, but we're going to look at the Alliance chart, okay? I like seeing an army's potency on its own, mainly. There's a lot of wacky combos you can do with yellow alliances. I don't personally like a yellow alliance army that much, but it can work. So, I mean, competitively, it has worked very well in the past. A lot of tournaments aren't allowing yellow alliances anymore because it got a bit wacky and you could just do crazy stuff. Like, for example, let's have a look here. Who can Smaug technically ally with? He can ally with Angmar. Okay. Are these the hunters? Azog's hunters, yeah. Barad. Oh, is that Barad? Barad. So technically, you can have Sauron and Smaug in the same list. You can have denizens. The Necromancer or Dark Powers of Doggle Door. Goblin Town. Moria the Trolls. There you go. So if you want to go super, try and get some numbers. And I don't think it's too bad with Smaug because he needs numbers. Goblin Town's a good shout because if it's a 700 point or a 1,000 point game that you're playing, that gives you 100 points, which is actually really super doable with Goblin Town. Because Goblin Town, I think the goblins are like nothing. They're like 4 points a model or something stupid like that. Let's have a look. Yeah, 4 points a model, or 5 points if you get a two-handed axe. And their captain's rocking at 35 points. They can take 12 goblins. There you go. You suddenly increased your army size by 13 models. Win. Okay. That's an option. Or you can just go Monster Mash. And, I mean, you can't even fit in a Balrog, but you can try. You can't even fit in Sauron. I guess the Trolls, if you want to go full Monster Mash and keep it under 1,000 points. If you don't care about that, just chuck the Balrog and Smaug together, chuck the Balrog into combat and breathe fire on the Balrog so he explodes, takes no damage, and everything around him burns. There you go. That is what you do. Another option for you, if we're still thinking about Goblin Town, is, I mean, it's a bit more expensive, but we could start looking at things like, what's his name? The Scribe? How many points? So 50 points, he can bring 6 people with him, but you can spawn goblins, potentially, on a table edge. Yeah. Which is really good. And that means that you can tie up artillery pieces to keep you safe from that. Or you can do the other route, which is the... I mean, they're in Azog's Legion. Which is the mercenary goblins. Because they can jump out terrain. But you need a mercenary goblin captain, who I believe is not a fair bit more expensive, just a bit more expensive. I think he's like 45 points instead of 35, 10 points extra or something. No, he's 50 points. Okay, 50 points, which is not too bad because goblins, they don't need spear sports because they count as spear sports for each other. He's got mercenary ambush, where as long as he's got solely goblin mercenaries, they don't have to start on the board at the start of the game. From turn 2 onwards, you roll a courage test for the goblin captain. If the test is passed, the controlling player may choose whether or not the mercenaries have arrived. If it's failed, the opponent may choose whether or not they arrive. But even if you lose, like fail, and they say, yeah, sure, turn up, you still get to pick where they turn up. Once they arrive, the controller player places the warband fully within an eligible piece of terrain on the board. There you go. You can't be placing controlment zones of enemy models, and it counts as their movement for that turn. Which is quite tasty, I think. Okay, just like a warning on mercenaries. If you're at a tournament or a friendly game, either or, just have a chat with your opponent. They'll know you've got goblin mercenaries because you told them your list, and just agree what you can and can't come out of, because you don't want to have a plan of say, hey, I'm going to come out of, I don't know, I mean, this table isn't the best for it, but yeah, exactly. If you're like fighting on a table like this, they've got to be able to come out somewhere. Okay? So it's like, oh, are they okay to like kind of spawn from this rock or start on this rock? They've been lying down following like full on Peter Millar 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐿 camouflage. Yeah? And if your opponent's like, no, they can't come out anywhere, then you throw Smaug at them. No, don't do that. Throw a goblin captain at them. Goblin mercenaries are 5 points each, so there you go. It'd be a bit more expensive, but it's a nice round number because you can bring what? For 200, not even 250 points. It's like 100 points. It's 10 goblins and a captain. There's 100 points. There you go. Makes 800. Bang on. If my math is good. Question mark. Yes, it is. So yeah, there you go. That is pretty much a quick rundown on how to play Smaug. Smaug the Terrible. Yeah, just try not to get in a position where you're going to be completely surrounded. And can I spawn more dwarves, please? Where you're in a position like this, because chances are you're never going to get out of it, and you'll constantly be tagged. Be wary of bodyguard units. You want to get rid of bodyguard units so you can fully maximize on your terror and your ancient evil special rules. And it's easy to do that, either fireball them or charge them and eat them. But other than that, yeah, don't go there. Just make sure when you move. Oh my god, it's almost impossible. Like 12 inches seems very short, but like try and get somewhere where you're not going to get completely spammed. Like, the rest of the army can try and catch up. What is it, 5 inches for a dwarf? Even if it was 6, let's go 6 inches, because worst case scenario. There you go. You can barge this dude out of the way. He's probably going to die if you win that fight. And then go that way. Bosh. Smash into these two. And you'll probably be able to kill 2 hammerers. Okay. And then if you get priority, you can move out of the way and start throwing fireballs again. Yay. But that is it. That is all I've got for you. Apart from one last leaving note. On terror. When I said target spellcasters, try and get rid of any shamans if you're fighting an evil force, to get rid of fury so they don't auto-charge you without taking courage tests. And of course, bodyguard units, either burn the bodyguard units or assassinate the hero that they're bodyguarding. There you go. If you think I've missed anything on how to play Smaug, let me know in the comments. If you play Smaug, let me know how it goes as well, down in the comment section, because I'd love to hear. I'd love to bring this bad boy to a tournament. I currently have him. Well, I don't. My partner does. And she's painted him amazingly. So, yeah. I'd love to use them. So, if you've got any tips for me, let me know. I've only used Smaug in a few games, and I've got spoke to a few people who's used them. One of them used to bring them to events quite regularly until the event put in like a model, minimum model units or something, because yeah, you had a minimum of like 4 models, no yellow alliances, so unfortunately they could not bring Smaug anymore, which is a shame, but I get that as well. So yeah, but if you like the video, do hit the like button so I know people like these videos still. And if you're feeling especially saintly today, do consider subscribing. But even if you don't do either of those things today, I still hope you have an absolutely fantastic week. Not just a day, a week. And I'll see you in the next video.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy, and silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no